All right, happy Saturday. Let's look at SPX on the monthly chart to start. You guys, how many times have I told you what I was watching for was this wick fill? Look at that beautiful wick fill. That was the first target for sure. Now, if we were to look at the bigger picture, we have this trend line down here. It's a possibility, but that's a much larger distance to tumble. It did happen here. We definitely got the pullback and then just tumbled and bounced hard. Not saying it's going to happen, but this is definitely an area we're just going to be watching for to see if we get something in this area next. If we do get some continuation, we've got a lot of support right through here at that 60-60. 60-40 area to be mindful of, but for right now, want to look at a different view for the weekly. This was our weekly we were stuck in for so many weeks. We can get rid of that. We're finally outside of that range. And now what I'm watching is this trend line here. We've had 3 beautiful drops in a row for the weekly, right? And now this trend line sits about that 66.85 area. So I'm watching to see, typically when we get big, beautiful drops, we need a pullback. How many times has Heather said, it's not a straight line, right? It's just not a straight line. So where can we pull back to? This trend line gives us an idea. We could pull back to that 66.85 area. Now, I've been talking about this the last few days inside our Discord. We definitely have just been kind of bouncing between the areas through here. We almost came down and got another touch here. We're really, really close on Friday to tapping that trend line, but we did not get quite there. So what I'm looking for now, as you can see, we kind of like to go back and forth between these trend lines. Again, we've had 3 beautiful days, 3 beautiful drops. They were so choppy and so hard to trade, but if you held through the chop, you definitely did well on Friday. So we're walking into Monday. What I'm looking for is, honestly, we could get a nice big pullback. How far could we pull back? We could pull back to this trend line, not saying we're going to. That would be a massive move in one day. So this could take a few days. We could come all the way down and tap this trend line first and then move our way slowly back up and then get some continuation further down to follow. We don't know 100%, but anytime we get that drop like this, we do expect some form of a pullback before we see continuation. So it would make sense for us to get some sort of pullback through here and then see some continuation to follow. So if you kind of adjust your eyes when Heather says it's not going to be a straight line and think about it in these terms, once we get a push, what can happen next? We've tested, then we drop. We test, then we drop. So we absolutely could start making our way back up for another test before we see that continuation. So hopefully this visual helps. This is the area I'm going to be watching. If we get more continuation on down, about that 64.35, we could tap the trend line. But I really am looking for that pullback first before we see some continuation on down.